Josh Fremd is really interesting because of how big he is for the middleweight division. This dude's frame is ridiculous. This dude is 6'4", AJ. 6'4". Dude has a 76-inch reach, which really isn't that long. Alhassan's 73-inch reach, right? But it's just such a different frame. It makes me interested on if he could really utilize the grappling that he would want to work against Alhassan, who is such a tank, right? So Alhassan, he gives us the Dolce Lungiambula vibes, right? Just big tank who can walk you down and can really do whatever he wants because his power in the first round is just, it's scary. It's legitimately scary. Can Josh Fremd, first question, can he make it out of the first round against Alhassan?
That's what I was worried about, Derek, especially if you look at a lot of the losses that Fremd has. Sure, a couple of them are by submission, but you go back and you start looking, even the Gregory Rodriguez, what was it, back in 2021? You go back a little further, there's a lot of TKOs that happen in that first round against Fremd, right? And with the power that Razak has, even at a minus 110 TKO, like, it is very, very worrisome. I personally do not think it can happen.
The fight that I looked at when I was watching tape on Fremd, that I was like, how can we kind of mimic this fight against Alhassan? I had to go back a little bit, man. It was the Tresean Gore fight. That's the fight that I looked at. And only because Tresean Gore is a really powerful fighter for his weight class. But what I noticed right there is, yeah, like, this dude is long and lanky, but if he doesn't earn respect on the feet, man, he's going to... in the most respectful way possible, I see him getting ragdolled by these bigger, more powerful fighters in a grappling range. Because Alhassan, while he's not no jiu-jitsu black belt or anything like that, the dude is, I'm pretty sure he's a judo black belt, right? Judo Thunder is the nickname, right, for Alhassan. So yeah, man, when it comes down to the grappling, it's not like Alhassan can't hold his own, but I just think that he grabs him and tries to land the big one on him, or he just pushes him up against the cage and doesn't let Josh Fremd work his game. So the first thing that we need to look at is minus 110 for the TKO prop on Alhassan. Josh Fremd for the last couple of losses, Roman Kopylov knocked him out, and Gregory Rodriguez knocked him out. Only 2 knockout losses in your last 10 fights. That's not bad. What do you think about the minus 110 prop?
I like it for the fact what I'm expecting to happen in this fight is Razak Alhassan just pushing Fremd up against the cage, not allowing Fremd to have that distance, and then that's when the big bombs come into play, right? Either on the body, throwing them up to the head, especially now how we've seen a lot of this cage wrestling going in the UFC. It leaves a lot of opportunities for those knockouts.
Yeah, man. Interesting too, right? Is that Fremd doesn't even throw as much. Doesn't really land a lot of takedowns. It's like, you got to do something. You can't do nothing against him, right? So look at the numbers, right? Minus 170 for Alhassan, plus 140 for Josh Fremd right here. Let me just see what these fight odds are looking like. Yeah, 1.5 rounds. I think that should mimic what we have here. Yep, 1.5, minus 140 for the over, plus 110 for the under. Oh, brother, come on. All right, what's the sake? You're the arbitrator of truth, or whatever the phrase is. What are we rocking with here?
I like this one, Derek, especially because I'm looking at Razak Alhassan and I'm going with the under at plus 110 for that 1.5 rounds, man. It makes a lot of sense to me, right? 7.5 minutes into this fight where I expect Alhassan to be able to control a lot of things right here. It makes sense why it's close, but I like the under.
Alhassan has gone over 2 rounds 3 times in his last 10 fights, and he does have a couple of first round finishes right here. If he goes nearly as fast as he did against Brundage, which I did not expect, I'm pretty sure for that fight I bet over 1.5, and he just went out there and just like threw everything at him. If he goes with that same mentality, man, yeah, this thing can be over very, very quickly. So it should be an interesting one. Really, the play more than anything here is I think we just keep it super simple, right? Alhassan minus 170. I think that's a fair bet. That's a price that I'm willing to pay, I should say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you're not willing to put it on that 110 TKO, because I do think that's it's one of those where I feel like it's a snatch play, right? Like it's a full go, right? Everybody's expecting the TKO. It doesn't happen. I like the minus 170 for the money line so he can finish it any amount of ways.
Just humor me for this last one, man. Plus 600 submission prop for Josh Fremd. Anything?
Ooh, plus 600. And I mean, Razak Alhassan has been submitted. Only one time in his last
you gotta give
10.
Him the Joe Pyfer treatment, bro. Joe Pyfer and just ragdoll arm triangle. What do you think?
Ooh, he's got the frame for it. Fremd does have the frame for it. If you're feeling a little risky there, folks, plus 600 is not the worst odds.
The reason I didn't go through with it is because I was looking at the Joe Pyfer fight, and I was like, Pyfer has something that Fremd doesn't have, which is frame, right? You have big, tall, lanky frame, but he's also a powerhouse. That blast double came from the other side of the cage, naked. Didn't even set it up, and he blast doubled him. He got him good, bro. It was really good timing on that. So, all right, man. Alhassan, Judo Thunder, that is the pick right there. Pure money line. We'll call it what it is.